is over now. The dawn is drawing very nigh. Let's creep away from the day and allow me to say goodbye.
Hello, folks. This is Mayor Sly James, and you're listening to 90.1 FM KKFI, Kansas City Community Radio. Keep listening. Enjoy.
Hello, good afternoon. This is Maria Vasquez Boyd with you every Wednesday on 90.1 FM KKFI, Kansas City Community Radio, and this is ARTSPEAK Radio. Yay! We love that you've tuned in or listening to us online. Lots of stuff going on today. First of all, it's our 2017 Fall Pledge Drive, and we're so happy to have you reach out and help support community radio. In the studio today, we have Randy Cohen, Pablo Sanhueza, Erica Lynette Baker, Halee Maj, and we also have someone on the phone from the International Sculpture Conference that we'll be talking to. Thank you, honey, at the middle of the hour. But right now, we have the beautifully talented, wonderful Bill Sundahl, who's our development director. And if I can quote his wife, he says, what a man, what a mighty good man. So welcome, Bill.
She hasn't said that in years.
So tell us, what's happening, Bill?
Right now, I'm just hitting start on a 5-minute timer because I know you have a busy show. We don't want to take up too much of your listeners' time. But Mark Andrus has thrown down a champions match for our listeners and supporters of KKFI. So he has laid a $100 bill on the table in front of us. And if we can stack another $100 on top of that, then we'll be able to pick it all up, put it in the bank.
That'd be terrific because I'll be at near my goal, right?
Yeah. For
ARTSPEAK Radio.
I forget the exact goal. It's right over there on your board.
I see. I'm not
$9,000 for this hour. That's our So, no, we're happy for all the community support we get. And so that number to dial is 888-931-0901. Or you can go online to kkfi.org and find the donate button. And it's an easy way, mobile-friendly page to take care of it on any device you happen to have.
You know, as I was telling our guests in the green room, that KKFI Community Radio, we are the megaphone for the community, right?
That's right. A megaphone for the voiceless is how I like to put it, because it really distills our mission statement, which is, it's a long paragraph, but it essentially says we are here to share information and educational programming and news and music that you would not get anywhere else. Specifically that you wouldn't find anywhere else. So we try to fill those gaps in the community that need help getting the word out. Obviously, arts organizations fall right into that. Authors, the programming you do week in and week out is a testament to our mission every single Wednesday from noon to 1. So.
And it's a testament to this community because we are giving voice to community members who are spoken word poets, musicians, performers, playwrights, and that.
Yeah,
so,
sure.
Yeah.
And you can support that type of programming if it's a value to you at 888-931-0901. And we only have 3 minutes and 5 seconds left in this match.
Ring.
So let's light up those phone lines. And if for some reason it's busy or they get all tied up, it just rolls over to my desk, leave a quick message, I'll call you right back, or just try back in a few minutes. So it does tend to get busy during these matches. So again, thanks to Mark Andrus for supporting us in so many ways. Mark is a tireless volunteer here at KKFI
and he also is a co-host of one of the programs.
He does a couple. He's on Fool Killer Folk. He does the
Classical Challenge.
Thank you.
Later on tonight.
So yeah, we're happy to have folks like Mark in our community, and we're very happy to have you in our community. If you're listening to KKFI right now and you're listening to my voice, it's because you care about your town. It's about your community. I mean, we're an 80-mile radius, so it's not just Kansas City. We tend to say Kansas City because that's part of our call sign, but we really, Lawrence, Topeka, St. Joe, Clinton down to the south. I think we reach almost to Nevada. So if you're hearing my voice, it could be the way you find out about events and information that are going on in the community around here.
Opportunities, any sort of, yeah.
I mean, through the PSAs we run about, legal fund education.
Food banks,
all
donating
kinds of stuff.
cards.
We exist to serve the community, but we have to, our model is that we need support from the community. Over 80% of our donations come directly from you. So we can't rely on any other support but yours on a long-term basis. So,
and we've been going strong for almost 30 years. 30 years next year. So we do need your help.
888-931-0901 or kkfi.org/donate is the easy way to do it online. We're monitoring those donations during this match as well. 1 minute and 18 seconds left in this match.
Come on, you got to call 888.
Just make the difference and be that kind of person who doesn't let someone else carry your water for you all the time. So and I say that kind of tongue in cheek, but there's a lot of, I guarantee you there's someone listening right now who's thought about donating and just hasn't made that move to do it. But right now your voice would be amplified by Mark Andrus and your donation will be doubled at 888-931-0901 or go to kkfi.org. It really is like I said, if you're listening to my voice, it's because you value KKFI.
Come on, pony up, folks.
So yeah, and we exist to, all right, we have a donor right here already. Sweet. That's in for $20. So
we love that.
That's right. So we're ready we just need another $80. And it really does take that community support to keep this place going. So 888-931-0901 is a great way to support community radio and to support the programming you love and that you've come to enjoy and really rely on to find out what's going on. There are a lot of places that will play you sound bites and regurgitate information that they got in an email or downloaded from some national site. We're programmed right here in this
24/7.
There goes the timer. So call right now to get under the wire. 888-931-0901. You're already a member of this community. Help support community radio and keep that information and music coming your way all day, every day. Thank you, Maria, for everything you do.
Oh, thank you,
Not
Bill
just
Sundall.
at KKFI. You're a wonderful person to have in your community no matter what you're doing.
Bless your heart.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Bill Sundall, our development director. We've got this fall pledge going on all week, and 888-931-0901 is the number. Next, I want to introduce Randy Cohen, who's the Vice President of Research and Policy for Americans for the Arts. Now, Americans for the Arts serves, advances, and leads the network of organizations and individuals who cultivate, promote, sustain, and support the arts in America. Now, they were founded in 1960. The Americans for the Arts is the nation's leading nonprofit organization for advancing the arts and arts education. Welcome, Randy.
Thank you. It's great to be here.
Yeah, it's a flurry of activity, isn't it?
I know. I love community radio. My community has one, and support it, volunteer. It's one of the great gifts for our communities.
It really is.
Especially as radio just becomes so higher and higher altitude and so corporate, And now, here's what's happening in the community. So thanks for the great work you do. And for so long, too. It's been great for the community.
Yeah, thank you. I want to, let's talk about Americans for the Arts. They just released the Arts and Economic Prosperity Study, number 5, that included data for the Greater Kansas City metropolitan area.
Yes. Well, this is a whole different way to look at the arts. I'm looking at all the other fabulous guests in the studio today who are the makers of the arts and the poets and the theater and the musicians. And we all love the arts. They inspire us and they create the communities that we want to live in and work in, and they bring us joy. And they also, turns out, are good for the economy. Yes. And so this is, a study that kind of takes people by surprise, right? Well, I didn't really think about the arts that way. But what we found, so we did a big national study looking at how spending by nonprofit arts and culture organizations, so right here at KKFI, but the theater, the ballet, our arts education organizations, a lot of our neighborhood community-based cultural organizations, they're spending their businesses. And, we think of these great community amenities, but the fact is they employ people, they purchase goods and services in the community. I'm sure you all have a big old utility bill here with all surrounded by, high-powered electronics.
100,000 watts.
Yeah. So, arts organizations are businesses, and that's got an impact on the community. But not only that, think of the last time you went out to an arts event. Maybe you had dinner first and go out for dessert or drinks afterwards, and if you have little ones at home, double the cost of the evening on babysitting. So lots of economic activity related to that arts event. And so the arts generate a lot of that as well. And that kind of separates the arts a bit. So in this survey we did, and again, it's part of a national research study, but right here in the KC area, it's a $276 million industry that it supports 8,970 jobs and generates $24.6 million in revenue to local and state government.
That's stunning. I mean, those are stunning numbers, right?
Yeah, it's always much bigger than anybody expects. And again, and here's the other surprising thing that we learn in the research. You think of, the ballets doing Romeo and Juliet this week. Well, okay, you think of an arts organization. Well, they got the dancers, and the symphony's playing, so you got the musicians. But the arts organizations employ plumbers and electricians and auditors and accountants and support these jobs throughout the community. When you get your program to an arts event, well, there's a writer in the community that's being paid to write that, and a graphic designer and a printer. So all that economic activity, it just cuts all across the community. And sometimes people are inclined to think about the arts as, sort of this black hole of goodness, right? We support the arts and it's good, but the fact is, you're getting economic and cultural benefits. When you talk to your legislators, and we try to get city funding for the arts and, county government and the state to fund the arts, it shows that it's a two-way street. The arts aren't just getting some free ride. It's an investment that's returning economically to the community.
Well, and I can say, I pulled this off of your website. It says, in fact, communities are investing in an industry that supports jobs, generates government revenue, and is the cornerstone of tourism. And that's really impressive.
Yeah.
It really is.
And what's fascinating is if you look, at the region, thousands and thousands of attendees are coming from outside the area to attend the arts events here. Right. So it's a total tourism draw. Interestingly, the average attendee to an arts event, whether wherever you're from, spends about $25.13 to be exact.
It's all broken down here.
Right. And then, but those folks that come from outside of town, they spend $45.24. So if you're a restaurateur, if the city owns a parking garage, you love this, because people are coming to town and they're going and they're coming to our festivals. And they're listening to our music, and so it makes makes this area a great destination.
The arts mean business, really. Yeah, it's so true.
It is, and it's not an intuitive way to think about the arts, and that's just one of the benefits. And really, what we're talking about is, this vibrant arts community, and this is a great arts community. I got to tell you, I travel to at least 40 cities a year, and there is so much here to be proud of.
Yes,
you got
absolutely.
In all kinds of arts, big institutions,
there's
small
room for everybody.
Ones. Yeah, absolutely. And in fact, a lot of the vitality in the arts, nationally, is these smaller neighborhood arts organizations, our culturally, our ethnically specific arts organizations. That's where so much of the vitality is, and that brings people to the community as well. And then we're also seeing, in addition to that, when the arts are part of a young person's education, they're performing better academically, better grades, lower dropout rates. Wow, isn't this what we all want as parents?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I am talking to Randy Cohen, the Vice President of Research and Policy for Americans for the Arts, that serves, advances, and leads the network of organizations and individuals who cultivate, promote, sustain, and support the arts in America. Their website is americansforthearts.org, where you can find out more information about so many studies and so many programs that they have, reports, data, networks, services, all of that on their website. So this was just released. This study was just released in June, right?
Yes, so it's very new information. And again, it was, we studied 341 communities across the country. And the research here is very locally based. We surveyed 309 organizations and heard back from 133 of them. That's what we go with. We only use data from the organizations that provide it. And it's really powerful. It gets the attention of business leaders, of government leaders, and it's fuel for the arts community. When you're trying to advocate, for more support for the arts and help people understand, what are the benefits to a community? And, I sympathize with people and, these, our elected leaders trying to figure out how to, build healthier communities and make these strategic investments. The arts provide cultural and economic benefits to the community. And, it creates livability. It attracts our, people want to come here to work and live. So there's again, it's a different way to think about the arts, and it's a fabulous story. Locally, right here, we work with ARTSKC and their website.
I'm glad you reminded that. ARTSKC.org.
Yes, ARTSKC.org, and you'll see the local report there as well. And they've got the full report and the one pager and all kinds of great highlights about the study. And it's also one of the fabulous things about this community as well is we asked all those arts organizations about volunteers, and I know here we are, we're surrounded by a fabulous core of volunteers. Just those 133 organizations, and again, KKFI, part of that universe, 11,505 volunteers that contributed 522,000 hours last year.
That's amazing.
That is incredible.
Amazing.
And it's just evidence of, what it takes to keep this community culturally vibrant. And this is people voting with their feet and their time, saying, yes, arts, culture, media, it's important to me.
I love this. Well, for more information, AmericансForTheArts.org is where you'll find this the results of this study. It puts to rest a misconception that communities support arts and culture at the expense of local economic development. So take a look at that. I want to thank Randy Cohen, Vice President of Research and Policy for Americans for the Arts, for coming in today and talking to us and sharing all this wonderful news, this wonderful research.
It's a great story. Thanks for having me,
You
Maria.
bet. Okay, we're going to be right back with ArtSpeak Radio right after this. And we're back. This is ArtSpeak Radio. Thank you so much for tuning in and making us a part of your day. We have a couple of people to thank, and from the bottom of my little old heart, I really, truly appreciate the matching donations. We've got Randy to thank, and Susan, thank you so much for helping us get this goal for our 2017 Fall Pledge. It really makes a difference. You matter. So thank you so much. And for other people who are considering calling, call us at 888-931-0901. If you're not, if you don't have a phone available, you can always make a pledge online at kkfi.org. Next up, we've got Pablo Sanhueza, who is a musician, local musician, Latin musician here, and he's going to talk about a performance at Prospero's that's happening Saturday, October 21st, 100 years of Violeta Parra, Cantos de Amor y Resistencia, a tribute to Violeta Parra. Welcome, my friend.
Thank you so much, Maria, for inviting me once again.
Oh, you bet. Because we love having you. You have such a great energy and you're a terrific performer. So let's tell us about what's happening that night.
We, with the support of Prosperos and the musicians in the Kansas City Latin Jazz All-Stars, we planned earlier this year a tribute concert to honor the centennial of Violeta Parra, Chilean-born singer-songwriter and multidisciplinary artist who in the 50s and 60s challenged many barriers that most women in the arts still face. She was the first Latin American artist to expose at the Louvre in France. She was also the first international recording folk artist from Chile, recorded in Argentina, and Chile and Argentina got the contracts, did the research, what we call today ethnomusicology. She was before this discipline actually existed, she was doing this work compiling folk stories, folk tales, and music from the peasants in Chile, music that was totally unknown in the 50s. And in that way, we owe to that work a musical identity. In a way, we're all sons and daughters of Violeta Parra.
Because I understand she's the mother of Latin American folk, right?
Yes, she's considered by most very, very well known for her international research. Her concern in the 50s as a woman who took on all by herself the elaboration of a monumental research to provide a source of identity to the Chilean working class, who at the time was being the entire mainstream culture was looking to France, to Europe at the time as a model, and overlooking the traditional music and cultures of the people from Chile, which is people mainly who have a heritage of American Indian, Mapuche people from Chile, and the immigration and the colonization period. So, in a sense, her work was so advanced for her time that we still fall short to the implications of this work. And we found out that Violeta is very unknown in the United States. She's very well known in Latin America and Europe, where she developed her work. But other than in the coasts, where most of the South American and Chilean populations exist, is quite unknown. And that we have looked in the past, there's never been a tribute to Violeta Parra. And this will be the first time we do it in Kansas City. It's a community-run event. Yeah. It's a grassroots. We've been having rehearsals. We have musicians from different walks of life, different ethnic and cultural origins, and we have gathered to pay this tribute to her through her music.
And that's beautiful, because as the folk traditions blossomed into this movement, it celebrated the fight for social justice throughout Latin America. So you will be performing that night and actually be celebrating the 100th birthday, right? And who will be with you that evening on Saturday, October 21st?
We have some of the musicians from the Kansas City Latin Jazz All-Stars. We have on keyboard and guitar Mr. Trevor Smith. We have on percussion, a percussion set, Mr. Evan Hoffman. On vocals, we have Miss Camry Ivory.
Beautiful.
So a very well-known local singer. And on bass and percussion and backup vocals, it's going to be myself, Pablo.
Terrific.
And then we have a couple surprise guests that haven't been confirmed. But
yes, I'll sing for you.
We hope to see you there, Maria. Stop by for a second.
Well, and it is at Prospero's Books at 1800 West 39th Street here in Kansas City, Missouri.
Yes.
And for more information, I believe you can, the Prospero's bookstore website would have some more information, or yes. I believe Facebook is a good source,
through
right?
Facebook, through the web, through the event page that we have on Facebook. It's called Violeta Parra, 100 Years Songs of Love and Resistance. Cantos de Amor y Resistencia.
You know, I was listening to her music just this past week, and I thought it is very relevant in today's world. You know, there's unfortunately very little change, but it's a beautiful. Her music, her lyrics are really beautiful, so it's going to be a wonderful celebration of her work and her fight for social justice. So thank you for doing that.
Thank you so much. Yeah, this music, in artistic terms, as in poetic terms, is still relevant. The universality that she aimed for as being proven timeless and very effective. There is so much that I didn't know about Violeta before putting this event together. Every day we find new facts that are so relevant, so important. Everything from how she made the records and the constant struggle against the elements. She never had any support.
Yeah. Well, and I can also say that, as you mentioned, she explored the visual arts, created oil paintings, wire sculptures, ceramics, burlap tapestries, and all that. So she's had quite an interesting and formidable life in the world of arts. Yeah. So that seems like a fitting benefit for her 100th birthday.
Yeah. 100 years.
Yeah.
This year. This 2017 is the year of very important centennials. 100 years of Thelonious Monk. Yesterday we celebrated the 100th anniversary of one of jazz's greatest composers of all times, Thelonious Monk. So many other 100 years. Jazz itself has been. Scholars have agreed to give jazz its 100th anniversary this year too. It's hard to pinpoint where it started, but in the world of scholars have decided this is also 100 years of jazz. So this important centennials 2017, we wanted to bring artists that were lesser known, and they are important for the Kansas City community to be aware of.
We thank you for that.
Thank you so
Pablo
much.
Zenwezer, you are very active in the community. Saturday, October 21st, from 4 to 8 p.m. at Prospero's Books, 1800 West 39th Street here in Kansas City, Missouri. For information, Facebook will have everything that you need to know about tickets and food and all of that. So, yes.
Thank you so much.
Well, thank you. You know, it's always a pleasure to have you here in the studio, and hopefully we'll get you on for the band auction. What do you think about that?
Yes, we talked to Bill, and we will bring the full orchestra for the auction, for sure.
Very good. I saw him twist your arm. I hope it didn't hurt much.
You don't have to twist my arm. It's such a pleasure to be here.
Beautiful. Well, thank you, my friend.
Thank you so much. See you at the tribute to Violeta Parra at Prospero's Bookstore on West 39th Street.
Very good. Thank you.
Thank
and
you
we're
so
going to be
much.
right back with ArtSpeak Radio right after this.
Hi, I'm Russ Simmons.
And I'm Susan Sanders.
And this is Take Two, two takes at a movie currently playing in the Kansas City area. And today the topic is a road movie, comedy, drama that was written and directed by Kansas City native Morgan Dameron, and it's called Different Flowers.
This is a story of two sisters, one played by Emma Bell, who does an exquisite job of showing what it feels like to be a bride on your wedding day and realize you do not want to get married
right.
to this person.
Right.
And so she takes off on a road trip with her sister.
Played by Hope Lauren. Yeah, and this is a very sweet-natured little movie. It's very lightweight, but at the same time, I think that local audiences will have a particular interest in this because it was shot almost entirely in the Kansas City metro area.
I enjoyed watching the local scenes. I believe part of it might have been filmed in Weston, Missouri. The downside is that it meanders. It's a road trip kind of a thing. Parts don't seem plausible. The mother's reaction to the daughter when she, has this huge wedding and the daughter vanishes. But it's produced by Shelley Long, who makes a little cameo performance in there. And sisters may enjoy watching it together.
I think that's probably right. Morgan Dameron, this is her first film as a filmmaker. She has been the assistant to J.J. Abrams, one of the most successful people in the business, for quite some time. And so she's learned, and she has really shown that she's got a lot of potential. And so not only is this movie likable on its own, but it really shows that we may have a really terrific filmmaker here at home.
Well, that'd be nice. I just felt that it was a little bit amateurish, and maybe that's because this new Kansas City producer is still working on her craft.
I'm Russ Simmons.
And I'm Susan Sanders.
And this is Take Two.
And this is Maria Vasquez Boyd, live on 90.1 FM, KKFI, Kansas City Community Radio. This is ARTSPEAK Radio. We're in the middle of our 2017 Fall Pledge Drive, so please be generous. 888-931-0901 is the number to call, or kkfi.org online if you would rather pledge that way. So we really need to keep this community radio going. We're going 30 years strong next month. If you have ever enjoyed any of the guests that you've heard on ARTSPEAK Radio, or have been a guest, or took advantage of an opportunity or something that you really liked on ARTSPEAK Radio or any of the stations here, please call us now at 888-931-0901. Next up, I have... do I have Julia on the phone? Hello? Nope. Let me see. We're going to figure that one out. I have a guest on the phone from the International Sculpture and Conference. Oops, we're having a little bit of difficulty, but at any rate... Call 888-931-0901. And we're going to go ahead with our next guest, Erica Lynette Baker. She is a playwright here, and she's going to talk about the Kansas City Horror Play Festival that she's produced. It's going to be 2 evenings of creepy stories, haunting artwork, and costumed fun. So featuring 6 new plays each night, written by several different playwrights. So welcome, Erica.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
Yes. Let's talk about this horror play festival, the Kansas City Horror Play Festival.
Yeah. So we're going to be featuring, like you said, 12 new plays written by 12 local writers. All 12 plays will be performed by an ensemble of 6 local actors as well. It is the 27th and 28th of October. And something else we're doing that I'm pretty excited about is we will also be having an art show beforehand. So
terrific.
Yeah. So at 7, you can come and see. We have about 20 local artists who will be displaying horror or Halloween-themed artwork. After which, you can move over to the performance space to see the plays and order some fun cocktails.
Oh, wow. That sounds like fun.
Yeah.
October 27th and 28th. Now, is this for adults only, or would you bring a younger kid?
This is definitely for adults. So, like the title suggests, we are definitely going there with the horror. So, yes. So there's definitely some content that I would not suggest for anyone under 16. We actually do have a disclaimer on the event that says anyone under 16 must be accompanied by an adult.
Oh, terrific.
But we don't recommend anyone under 16.
Yeah, and that is October 27th, 28th at 8:30 at the Buffalo Room, Westport Flea Market at 817 Westport Road. And it's really exciting because you've got 12 local playwrights, and some I'm familiar with and some I don't recognize their names. So tell us.
Yeah, well, one of the things I'm excited about is the 12 submissions that we accepted. We really have a wide age range and a wide range of experience. So one of the plays is written by an 18-year-old, and we found out this was actually the first play he's ever written, and so that's kind of cool. And then, of course, you'll recognize some of the names on here of local writers who have produced many, many times.
Yeah.
So it's kind of neat to have that range happening.
Do you know what to expect? Or are you going to be kind of surprised along with the audience? Because it sounds like you've got some, well, for one, you've got some terrific plays, but then there's going to be sort of dressing, gruesome costumes and signature cocktails, and there's a contest
That's right.
prize package, too.
Yeah, so we definitely are encouraging people to come in costume, and each night there will be a costume prize package. So that'll be really exciting. The prizes will all be from local companies and will all kind of fit the theme of the event. But I actually won't be as surprised as a lot of our audience mates, because I'm also directing it, which is lots and lots of fun. So I'm really familiar with the material. Definitely keeping myself busy this month with all of that.
Well, you are very busy anyway as an actress, a playwright, and did you finish your studies at UMKC, or am I making things up now?
Not UMKC, actually Northwest Missouri State.
Oh, good. Okay.
That's been a handful of years ago.
Yeah.
But yes, I do definitely keep busy. I work full-time as a puppeteer and then produce and direct and all of that other stuff as well.
And that's with Paul Messner, right?
Right,
Yeah.
Messner Puppet Theater.
Yeah, and I bet you're kind of in a bit of a busy season for that alone, right?
Oh, definitely. Yes, we have a lot of shows happening at once right now. But the one that's in the space right now is called The Dinosaur Show, and we're actually featuring Damian Blake, who's a local actor. So that's kind of a fun partnership.
Well, it sounds like you have so much going on. If people want to find out more information about this production, the Kansas City Horror Play Festival, what information can you give us?
Yeah, so there is actually a public event page on Facebook. You can just look up the Kansas City Horror Play Festival. We're really proud of this event. This is actually the inaugural year of it, and we are planning on doing it again. This particular iteration will be featuring the work of around 45 different artists, which is pretty special. So it is a 2-night event, but we do also have the option of just coming one night if that's all that works for your schedule.
I love that.
Yeah.
So this is just the first of many, right?
Well, yes. Let's hope.
Yeah, because as I was talking to you, I was thinking it could be fun in other spaces too. I mean, the Buffalo Room at the Westport Flea Market is great too, but there's some other spaces that could lend themselves to some kind of creepy Kansas City Horror Play Festival plays, right?
Yes, it'd be really fun to engage with several other local arts venues. So maybe we'll look at doing that next year. Yes, exactly.
Thank you so much, Erica Lynette Baker, for coming in today. Again, the event is October 27th and 28th at 8:30. At the Buffalo Room in the Westport Flea Market, located at 817 Westport Road, and that's Kansas City, Missouri. And it's the Kansas City Horror Play Festival, produced by Erica Lynette Baker.
Thank you.
Thanks so much for coming in today. We're going to be right back with ArtSpeak Radio after this.
Listen up now. I like myself. So you don't have to. I like myself. I'm down with me. I like myself. I'm in my spaceship. I like myself. I'm filled with me. What would Cher do? I don't care. I'm way too busy with myself. I'm excavating precious jewels from deep inside. I'm filled with these. What would Cher do?
And this is Maria Vasquez Boyd with ArtSpeak Radio with you on 90.1 FM KKFI, Kansas City Community Radio. 888-931-0901 is our pledge line. So please give us a call and, show us your support. Show us how much you love KKFI with all the 24/7 programming that goes on. I'm going to see if my individual is here on the phone with the International Sculpture Conference. Are you there?
Yes.
Oh, yay. Hello, welcome. I've misplaced the paper. Please tell us your name.
Johanna Hutchison.
Johanna, very good. And Johanna, I want to welcome you to ArtSpeak Radio, and thank you so much for calling in today. Sorry about the little bit of craziness happening with the phones, but tell us about the International Sculpture Conference here.
Well, we have, as an organization, we're a non-profit arts organization, and we have been doing conferences since 1960. We were actually started off as a conference before we were even an organization.
Wow, yeah. And what's you're here in town, or going to be in Kansas City, right?
Yes, October 25th through 28th is our conference at in Kansas City. And the reason we're coming to Kansas City, not only because it's an amazing city of people to work with and the arts are so well supported and the community is amazing, but we first started in the area. We worked with Eldon Teff. He started our organization in 1960 at the Kansas University in Lawrence, Missouri.
Wow. Well, I know there's going to be a diverse group of over 300 attendees here in Kansas City for this conference. There's going to be art slams and mentor sessions, engaging panel discussions. Just so much going on for this, right?
Yes. How we arrange our conferences is we come into the community and we ask the community what they're doing there, and we build that around the community. We don't sort of come in and say, oh, this is our model. Mm-hmm. So we're fully embracing and embraced by the art community there.
Yeah, and I understand this will take place at the Kansas City Marriott Country Club Plaza at 4445 Main Street, right?
Well, actually, no. That's where
that's the conference
hotel is where we're staying. But the programming is happening at the Nelson Atkins Museum.
Oh yeah, you're all over because there's so many people involved, so many organizations involved in this. How can people find out more information about the events and the discussions, the tours? There's going to be artist studio tours, right?
Yes, there's going to be studios. We have a party every single night.
I love it. Count me in.
That's something our people really love. Yes, you can go to our website, sculpture.org/KC2017, and you'll find everything you need to know there, from the full schedule with links to all the panelists and to all the events going on. And you can still get a ticket. You can turn up on the day and get a ticket, a day pass or a full conference ticket. So there's still space if you want to attend.
And I was going to ask you, it's not too late to sign up, right, for the conference?
No, it isn't. You can't sign up online now because we use computerized registration, and we've shut it down so we can get ready for everybody and make sure we have all our program books and everything ready. But you can turn up on site and register on site.
So what will happen the first day? Is just sort of will you have a meet and greet and then sort of launch into it, or how?
Oh yeah, our first day is very exciting. So we've got 2 days at the hotel where you can come in and register and pick up all your bags and all the goodies for the conference. But our very first night, we have a big party at Studios Inc. So we're launching, and we have a lot of trips prior to that. During that day, we have trips to some museums. We have some laser cutting workshops and things like that at the new Fab Lab at KCAI. But the highlight of the night is a big opening reception at Studios Inc. And we have a little sculpture show there. So if you are participating in the conference and attending, you can bring a small sculpture and it gets exhibited.
Wow. And I understand Zahner is also a part of this conference, a local metal fabricator, and there's a guided tour of the Toy and Miniature Museum. There's so much going on, the laser cutting workshop.
There is,
yes.
And Zana is a supporter. We've known Zana for a while, and a lot of people that come to the conference know the organization, have been part of our membership for many years. But one exciting fact is that 66% of the attendees this time are coming for the first time to one of our conferences. So that's very exciting that we're getting a new audience.
Well, we're glad that you're coming to town, and we look forward to that, October 25th through the 28th. Thank you so much, Johanna, for calling in and talking with us, and I look forward to meeting you soon.
Yes, likewise. Thank you very much.
You bet. And we're going to be right back with ArtSpeak Radio right after this. Thanks so much for all the calls that we got today. We've got a matching fund pledge for the. Oh my goodness! We matched the Mark Andrus had the championship matching, and we matched that. And let me just go on. Can I just go on? I want to introduce. Thank you so much for calling 888-931-0901. Halee Maj is, she has a first book of poetry, which is called Love Nearly Killed Me. It was published and released in 2015 under Wildfire Publications. She says she is a hopeless romantic, passionate about her family, passionate about helping others. Welcome to the program, Halee Maj.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited.
You bet. Well, it's been kind of a crazy, hectic day with the pledge drive going on, and you know, we do like to have a lot of different artists groups in here in studios, so there's so much to say in this community. So what's happening in your world, Halee?
Well, I am still riding on the coattails of the two books that I published. My first book, titled Love Nearly Killed Me, that I published in 2015. It was sort of my therapy writing. I was going through a really bitter and bad divorce. And so all of those emotions and all of those feelings that just came out within that time, I just decided to write. And it just blossomed into this wonderful book called Love Nearly Killed Me.
And I love that.
Yeah, it's a lot of people say, wow, that's a very good title.
Well, you know, I'm so happy to make your acquaintance, because through this community, this creative community, I don't get to meet a lot of people that I should. So I know that we were introduced by my cousin Jim Ramirez. Thank you, Jim. Shout out to Jim.
Thank you.
And so I'm always happy to know about people in the community that are writing and performing and all of that. Do you have some work that you want to share with us today?
I do. I'm going to actually read to you a piece that's in my second book, Lyrical Indulgences. And if you would give me and lend me your ear, I'd like to recite it for you. It is titled, Be Still, Breathe. No choice but to be my own rock. Salt water washes over my smooth obliqueness, so smooth from years and years of scraping the bottom of the community well in the middle of nowhere. My choice to be something to me and nothing to them. Opinions matter not, from scathing gossips, hanging on every word that matters not to them, only the vindication that allows freedom to judge. My choice to carry burdens so prolific, only I can bear them, and bear them alone, so you can hold yourself higher and look down upon me in my lowest. The choice was made for me. When silver was unearthed and exchanged, and the pact was made, breaking bread was the only way to console the turmoil brewing in the breast. A meal fit for kings and queens in honor of Nicodemus, and Michael wept. Sorrowful tears wept in vain. Joyful tears spilled in vain. Redemption gained in vain. Days mocking the end of days, deja vu are regular occurrences affectionately called weeks. Never ending the cycle of life, and why it is we lack the understanding of where I, you, us should be. Still. Be still. Slow down. Close your eyes. Breathe. Each inhalation hurts a little less. Every crying spell lessens. Be still. Still. Exhalation is given freely, given to you freely, unselfishly gifted. Breathe. 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 Thank you, Maria.
Oh, thank you. That was really lovely. Thank you so much, Halee. Are you going to be performing anywhere that you want to mention to our listeners?
I am the resident poet over at Paper Birch Landing Gallery, located at 3740 Broadway, KCMO in Midtown. We actually have a show coming up this Friday, October 13th, at the Beauty in Diversity Art Gallery Show, and I will be performing some spoken word poetry along with some other artists and musicians there. So you can catch me every second Friday of each month over at Paper Birch Landing Gallery. I also have a Facebook page where it will list all of my events, upcoming events, poetry, exclusive content, and things like that. So you can just go find me on Facebook. Just type in HALEEMAJ. I will come right up.
Beautiful. I love that. And, will your books be available?
My books are available for sale on Facebook, on my Facebook page. You can also go to Amazon.com, where both of the books are available for purchase. And you will find other things, including my merchandise line, that is available as well.
And that's Love Nearly Killed Me was her first book of poetry. Halee Maj, is there anything that you want to say before we close out?
I want to thank you, Maria, for having me.
You're very welcome.
And you're doing such a great job. And I just thank you so much. Thank you.
And you know what? We're going to have you back when we're not in the middle of this 2017 fall
I would
pledge drive.
love to come back.
You know what? We can do that. We have to do the fall, fund drive because, we are supported by listeners, and so it's really important. But you're just as important. Everyone that comes and sits in this chair and speaks on air, 100,000 watts of airwaves.
Great, that is awesome.
So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Please come back. All right. We're going to close out a little bit early because I want to give people time to call 888-931 0901. If I haven't heard from you, I need to hear from you. It's not just Maria's show, ArtSpeak Radio, but it's for KKFI because we're on 24/7 and we're volunteer staffed, and we need to keep this community radio going for you. We're nearing our 30th year next year in 2018. So that speaks. I think that speaks volumes about what matters to you, and we're listening. So 888-931-0901 is the number. KKFI.org is the online website that you can donate to. I want to thank, again, people who pledged their support for KKFI. Thank you for calling in today. Also, I want to thank Randy Cohen, Pablo Sanhueza, Erica Lynette Baker, Halee Maj, and Joanna Hutchinson for calling in today, or for coming in today and sharing their talent and information, their creativity with us. Next week, we're going to have a show on with completely filled with artists, visual artists. We've got Janet Simpson, Hugh Merrill, Jose Faust, Michael Toombs, Sonny Ruffin, and Ada Koch. They'll join us for an hour-long discussion about the arts. We're going to talk about politics. We're going to talk about the state of arts, how art heals, and just you'll have a really wonderful art discussion with these folks, and that's next week, October 18th. I want to invite you to stay tuned next for Jazz Afternoon with Jeff Harshbarger. He's coming up. If you don't know Jeff, he is a very talented, hardworking musician here in Kansas City, and he will spin the best in jazz for you from 1 o'clock till 3. At 3 o'clock, Groovy Grant comes in. 3 to 6, Groovy Grant comes in, and he's got some pretty amazing stories too with his songs. So I want to thank you all so much for calling. We still have a few more minutes. 888-931-0901. We've got some volunteers ready to take your call because it's important. You matter to us. Thank you so much for tuning in to ArtSpeak Radio, supporting 90.1 FM KKFI, Kansas City Community Radio. Yeah, thank you so much. You know, I'm going to close out, and I'll see you next week. Honey, I'm coming home.